If it wasn't enough that everyone was already super hyped for Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red proved us once more that there is no limit to this hype train and pretty much stole the entire E3 show yesterday with probably one of the best presentations in the past few years at the very least. It looks like none other than Keanu Reeves is going to play a major character from the lore of Cyberpunk who goes by the name of Johnny Silverhand, so it's pretty much super hype at the moment. And on top of that, he also went on stage and talked a bit more about the game and of course the very anticipated release date, which is, as you probably see right now on the screen, April 16, 2020. We also have the collector's edition box of the game, which has been announced at the end of it, and the pre-orders are already up and already breaking records. So if you enjoyed this, of course, a thumbs up would be super appreciated, and let's get started with the main highlights. Of course, we have a brand new 4-minute cinematic trailer that looks simply amazing. No gameplay unfortunately, but it does feature some brand new stuff that we haven't seen before, or at the very least some brand new footage. The first one being of a wide shot of the neon-rich night city. This looks absolutely amazing. The cityscape is just staggering. I'm not sure how much of this we will get to explore because the gameplay already showed it's quite big, but from this shot over here it looks even more impressive and more massive than I initially anticipated. Moving forward though, the trailer shows V once again, except this time around he is played as a male character, though the story somehow takes an unexpected turn that leads to a major character, Jackie Wales, appearing as if he died following a nasty shootout, and this could very well be a prologue mission or even a alternative mission later in the game that ends this way based on our previous choices. The game's choices are set to affect the world and the characters in it, so this might very well be an alternate turn of events that not all players might get to experience, so it sounds really awesome. The reason I'm saying that this is an alternate turn of events is because the character Dexter Deshawn is the one that can be seen helping V at various points in the previous gameplay trailers, while in this one it pretty much appears that he is our enemy. So at the very least we know that major characters don't have plot armor that makes them immune to dying. They can still die, so at the very least that should make a more compelling and interesting story if it wasn't already obvious with the footage we had already at hand. Towards the end of the trailer, V does manage to get captured again by one of Dexter's bodyguards, but he uses his iconic blades to take him down, though in the process of doing so he also gets shot himself in the face or in the head, and he pretty much blacks out or, well, quote-unquote dies, but he doesn't, because this might be just a prologue. As I've said, this is the reason why I said this might be a prologue mission. It's because following these events, V does wake up in a scrapyard with his vision being all glitched out and all of that. But what follows after this is simply jaw-dropping, as nobody expected this, and none other than Keanu Reeves is featured as one of the biggest characters in the Cyberpunk lore, of course, Johnny Silverhand. Now, from my limited knowledge of the Cyberpunk lore, Johnny Silverhand is a major part of it, and he is pretty much a vocalist in a rock band called the Samurais, which even V himself seems to be a part of, as he has the jacket with the name on it, and he's even called that way in the trailer towards the end. So his presence is so important that even during the character creation, Johnny Silverhand can be chosen as a childhood hero. So there you have it. Of course, he can also be seen glitched out, or at some point his body kinda glitches out, and there are some theories going on right now that he is just a appearance, a hologram, or something caused by the fact that V got knocked out or shot in the face, and that caused him to see him appearing like that. So he might not be physically there, he might be a glitch or something like that, a ghost even. I'm not really sure if that is the case, but he is a major influence in the game overall, in the lore itself, and I just want to see more of him. I just want to see more of Keanu Reeves in any video game I can get. On top of this, his presence on the main E3 stage was simply amazing. There was no cringiness going on, it was just like 5 minutes of very relaxed talking about the game itself, about the release date, and interacting with the fans, and the fans simply loved him. I mean, who doesn't love Keanu Reeves? Who doesn't love and who hasn't seen John Wick lately? I mean, come on, it's just amazing, and I can't believe that CD Projekt Red kept it up until the very last second, kept it a secret pretty much, and nobody was expecting such a huge release. So again, pretty humble on their part, not over exaggerating and plastering another AAA Hollywood star on their video game. it was full silence up until the very last second, and that contributed to making this appearance so much better. Anyway, following this we also have the collector's edition box, which is more packed with cool stuff even compared to the standard edition, which itself is pretty much bigger than any other standard edition I've seen so far in any video game. I've already made a video on that one if you want to check it out, and this seems to be even more generous. So obviously it contains the collector's box itself. It's pretty big because it contains a 10-inch tall figurine of V, the main character. It looks pretty awesome with two pistols in his hand, jumping from his bike and shooting. Moving on, we have a map of the Night City, a pretty big art book, the Quadra metal keychain, which looks really awesome. This is the same car that Jackie can be seen, and even the character can be seen driving in one of the previous gameplay trailers, a compendium containing the in-game lore, a steelbook, some other awesome goodies, including of course a whole bunch of stickers, and of course we also have the main game box on the platform of your choice. There's also a bunch of content that we can download, including of course the game's soundtrack, the Cyberpunk 2020 source book, and some more art and wallpapers for both of your PC and for your mobile phones. So overall quite a big one if you ask me. Even the regular edition was already big to begin with, but this one goes one step forward. Now the announcement doesn't just stop here, as there's also a secret message that the fine people over on Reddit were able to discover hidden in the new trailer that points towards a link with a message from CD Projekt Red. I'm not going to read all of it, I'm going to go over the more important bits, but I will leave you guys a link down below you can check, or alternatively you can just read it, pause this video and read the message in the video itself. Starting of course with the playable demo. For now the demo is only available for the lucky ones who managed to get tickets to E3, and the rest of you will have to wait until Gamescom or the public dev Q&A unveiling stream at PAX in August. So quite a little bit to go until then. The reason is we want to make the most out of the months of work we put into the demo and first showcase the gameplay live at E3 and Gamescom. Releasing gameplay right away would make the Gamescom presentation pointless and would significantly limit our chance to build hype, and I perfectly understand this. Cyberpunk has been in the works for years, the company has gone through its struggles in the meantime, and the devs are obviously taking their time to make it as good as possible and building up that hype, which is necessary and part of this process, of course, as long as that process is being backed up by actual work, and it definitely is in the case of Cyberpunk, as it can be seen. As even the message implies, after all, we are not a charity, and good sales allow us to grow, take creative risks, and deliver new great games for you to enjoy. There's also mentions about the two versions of the game, the standard and the limited collector's edition, so that we, and I quote, don't have to go to a Wikipedia page to compare content, and I definitely agree with that. Lately, way too many games have way too many editions to purchase, so I'm just happy that there's only two options to pick from, and both of them are very worth it. But moving on, while we're pretty proud of the collector's edition, we'd like to turn your attention to the first one. Why? Because we have pretty much maxed out the physical capacity of the box with goodies. We think this raises the bar for standard, and we hope you'll think so too. Also, since pre-orders are live, you might be wondering if there's any point in placing an order now. Yes, if you want to give us some extra support, pre-orders help us build anticipation. The more copies you pre-order, the more likely it is for us to get retail, both digital and physical, behind the game. And speaking of pre-orders, they are pretty much up on both Steam and Good Old Games, and they are already breaking records. I mean, just look at this. Cyberpunk 2077 is already the most sold game, and it's not even been like 24 hours since its announcement. This is just crazy. So I'm not even sure right now if I'm going to purchase it digitally or physically, because I just want to get my hands on it, and that is pretty much it. And finally, before I forget, we also have a message that reads, "Thank you for believing in us and buying a DRM free copy of Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, it's signed by the co-founder and joint CEO of CD Projekt Red. So pretty interesting stuff, DRM free. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to see it. Tell me what you guys think of this, like about everything, the trailer, the hype, the content, the two editions. Comment down below, and in the meantime, also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more awesome content, and activate that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time, so peace out.